Okay, we're starting over. I'm just shooting a quick little video. I wanted to document something pertaining to the Gamo quick shot rotary magazine. I'm adding rotary magazine into the terminology there. I don't know here. They're calling it a 10-shot magazine, and basically this allows for it automatically loads the gun, and there's the mechanism where the magic goes down. And I'm not going to fully cover what this does and how this works. There's plenty of other videos pertaining to that topic, or that taking the topic from that vector. I just wanted to point out a problem that I was having. Now, I've seen some people talking about how these get jammed up, or they have issues with the pellets getting crushed or whatever. I have not shot a lot, but I've shot some. I've probably shot 60 rounds through this gun. This is the Gamo Swarm. This gun appears to be, I got it used, but it appears to be almost new condition. But before I could shoot it, I was having a problem. And I basically, I will show what that problem is. Basically, how this works, there's a magazine. This is a magazine, and I have several here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then another one here in the gun. I'm going to go ahead and show you. This comes out like so, and then it goes right back in like so. It has, I'm going to get the gun out of the way and show what this is really all about here. So basically, inside this box, inside this this assembly, there's this blue like cylinder, okay, and it is spring actuated. So this one is empty. You'll see we got an exclamation mark at the top, and then we have 1 shot, 2 shot left, 3, and this, I'm turning this with my hand. It's kind of like a wind-up deal with a spring in there, kind of like a wind-up toy. And as you let go, it snaps back. Okay? As you can see, that's how the spring works. There's also a stop in there. So as you fill these up, so there's one, I'm going to put the next one in. I'm going to put the next one in. So you'll see I'm going to let off the spring, let it do what it wants to do. You'll see it's going to snap back to that one. It's ready basically for the firing, not the firing, the loading mechanism will basically, as the gun is cocked, there's various levers and springs in there that will basically allows this assembly to float just in line with the barrel, lining this hole up with the barrel. And a pin mechanism pushes through, and it pushes this into the barrel. I pushed it into my hand here, and then as you close the barrel, the pin comes out. And by the way, this assembly is allowed to float. It floats above the barrel breech. So as you close the barrel cocking mechanism, this is up out of the way. It's done its job. This pin comes out, and then the next pellet is ready to be pushed in the next time you go to cock the gun. So essentially that's how this works. That's not how mine was working. I'm going to demonstrate how mine was working, and maybe I can help someone with this video. So essentially what I need to do is try to keep everything from flying all over the table here. I'm going to basically disassemble this. And I have a theory as to what happens. Basically, we have one screw. We take the screw off, boom, and now we have, I don't know if you caught that, but this is free floating now. And you could see the spring pushing through this hole right here, and it's sandwiched between this piece, and there's a rotary shaft in there. And then there's another place for the other end of the spring to chill, and it's right there. I don't know if the lighting is going to capture that. Yes, you could see the other end of the spring. Now, when I got this gun, this magazine, it had a spring, but it was loose. It was not caught. It was just floating in here. I'm guessing someone took this apart and put it back together incorrectly. And so essentially what was happening is this thing was just free spinning. It was just spinning, and I was loading it, and I could only get one pellet to load, and that was it. I could get one pellet to load, and it would not, this mechanism would not bring the next pellets into position to be pushed through by that pin. So essentially what you got to do is you just got to take this spring. It's not that complicated, and you find where it lines up here, and you can see the hole down in there. I know the lighting's terrible. Did I get it? Okay, I thought I had it. I guess I didn't. I can't see the camera. I can't give the camera the best view and myself the best view at the same time. Maybe if I just look through the camera, maybe I'll be able to see it. There we go. That goes in like so. Okay. You'll see it's popping through on this side. Pardon me. I'm trying to give you more light so everybody can see what the hell it is I'm trying to do here. Yeah, you can just barely see it right there. Okay, that's the spring. Now we have to maintain that position. So we just roll it over. We have another spring, or the other end of the spring we have to line up. So the mechanism basically goes like so. You could see the little hole, I'm sorry, the little pin right there. The camera's having a hell of a time staying focused on the correct item. And then we have a little hole right there. This one's going to be a little trickier, but I believe we're going to get it. And this one almost feels like it's going to be more based on feel. And I got it on my first try. The first time I did this, it was not on my first try. You can see it sticking up right there. Okay, now we're not completely done. We need to add a little spring tension to this. And you have to, in fact, it's not going to spin right where it's at. It's kind of locked. So we need to lift it, but not lift it so far that we lose our spring, and then push it back down. And I think that's it. No, something's not right. Something is not quite right. So we're going to lift it again, spin it a little bit more. Oh my God, my back is killing me. Yeah, okay. So it's probably good that I have the difficulty in this video here. So we need spring tension. Let me double check one. Let me see here. The spring. the spring is pushing clockwise. So we need to go counterclockwise. Okay, so I went counterclockwise, but that's not, you'll see it's wanting to go back here. And we can put it back together like this, but it's not going to be quite right. We need a little more tension than that, in my opinion. So I'm going to go ahead and you'll see it's going to stop turning at some point. We need to lift it so that we can turn it. Boom. There. Now we have the correct tension. Now it really snaps. Okay. Now I believe we can put it back together. So you do have some guide pins, and you can see the holes up here on the top. We just kind of slap those back in like so. And then we take our Phillips screwdriver and tighten this back down as best as we can. Actually, there's no best as we can, we just need to do it right. I'm not getting it straight, so I'm going to undo it, redo it. Okay, there we are. And now we got our tension. Wait a minute. That's not good enough. It slipped. We need to redo it. I think I even heard it. Between the cold medicine, having a cold for 2 weeks, and my back from laying around so much, laying on the couch and sleeping. Being bent over this table, over this camera, it's killing me. All right. So the cool thing is that we're mostly done. The hard part is really lining up those pins. So I'm just going to do it like so. We wind it a little bit, and it stops. There's a stop in there somewhere. I haven't identified where that stop is. We go ahead and lift it up over the stop, push it back down, do it one more time. Boom. Okay. Now we're tight. And it jumped on me a moment ago. I even heard it, but I ignored it. That's the cost of trying to do this while not feeling well. You're going to have those types of situations. So now we're going to put the Phillips screw in there, tighten our back down, and there we go. Now it should be tight. Tight as can be. Let's knock some pellets out of one of these that's maybe empty or almost empty, and compare. Oh yeah, these others here real snappy. Okay, I would say we're good. So we're just going to go ahead and fill these up. And I'm using the Gamo Raptor PBAs, and only because this is my only Gamo gun that actually breaks the sound barrier without dieseling using this ammo. I've got other guns that should, but this is the only one that does. In fact, I've got one of my other guns is brand new, and it won't break the sound barrier, and it's rated for 1,350 feet, or maybe it was 1,250 with PBA, and that's not been the case. So anyways, I'm just going to keep on putting these guys in there. There's the last pellet. You'll notice that they also keep in there. They keep in there just fine. I probably didn't point that out. I don't think it's necessary to point that out, but so there's that. I'm going to go ahead and take a couple these loose ones out here that I took out of this guy. Maybe I can show you the keep. There's like a little keeper pin, a spring type deal down in there. Yeah, you could see it in the bottom. In the circle, the edge that's close to my finger, you can see a little spring type deal. I don't know, maybe it's not a spring, could just be an O-ring. I think I remember seeing an O-ring on this thing somewhere. Yeah, I bet you that's all that's keeping that in, is that O-ring. Okay, so there's that, and here's the last one. Boom. So now I guess for bonus footage, I can maybe show the package. I can also maybe show the package that the Raptor ammo comes in. Kind of looks generic, but I don't know a whole lot about these. I just know they break the sound barrier. They sound pretty wicked coming out of that this gun here, and it's every shot. It's not some shots. It's not most shots. It's every shot breaks the sound barrier, and it's kind of crazy. You'll actually hear, like, while shooting towards like a cornfield, where the corn's tall, I'll hear the sound travel from the gun, hit the cornfield, hit the edge of the corn, and then bounce back at me. It's wicked. It's kind of crazy. I can hear the gun shoot twice. It's pretty kind of neat. So anyways, the reason why I set aside this particular pellet is because I found where I'd shot one in my home, and I shot it into something soft, and I was able to recover the pellets, and it has you could see rifle where the rifling damaged the pellet, because the rifling actually dug into the pellet here, and I thought this might be maybe some bonus footage here, but I'm having a hard time getting the camera to focus on such a small, tiny little object. Let me see if I could do better getting the camera down close. Yeah, there we go. That might work. So you can kind of see, hang on, just bear with me. You can kind of see the ridges going all the way around the edge here. There's one, there's one, there's one, and they're the width of the pellet. I'm sorry, the rifling all the way around the head of the pellet, and then you could see where the pellet made contact and stripped some of that gold coloring off, whatever this gold coloring is. You can also see where the rifling hit the skirt, or maybe the pellets of the skirt of the pellet hit the rifling of the gun in the barrel. You can see these notches, these grooves that were worn in, going all the way around. I'm very surprised, and I don't know why it's that deformed. Maybe there was a secondary hit. Maybe it ricocheted or something. I don't know. Maybe it landed on its side. It's awfully tiny for me to try to focus on. It's a little tiny guy. It's a 177 caliber pellet. So anyways, that's all I got.